Hey YouTube, Red Baron here with Field to Field Outfitters. Today I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to adjust your magazines, how to make them work so that you can your Magpul AC type magazines so that they'll fit with the KRG X-Ray chassis. I'm building a long range precision rifle using the KRG Kinetic Research Group X-Ray chassis for the Tikka T3X. I have the CTR compact tactical rifle 24-inch barrel and the 6.5 Creedmoor caliber. And one of the issues is I was putting that chassis together, working with the putting the barrel to action into the chassis, is that my magazines wouldn't fit. They wouldn't seat properly, and I could never get them to fully go in and to finish my stock adjustment. And so I did a lot of YouTube searches, a lot of Google searches, and didn't really come up with much other than one post, and also after a email directly to Kinetic Research Group. They sent me back with a link to an individual that had made the modifications, more or less, that you see here. The gray portion right up here is what I've already sanded down on the Magpul AICS type magazine. You're going to have to do quite a bit of sanding in order to get this to seat properly. Here's a kind of comparison one that I have not sanded on or anything. This is straight out of the plastic bag, and there's quite a bit of sanding that has to take place for you to get it to seat properly. So bear with me. I'm going to go through this and step by step show you how I've sanded this down so that now it fits and seats properly into my KRG chassis. Today I'll be using the Dremel 4000. This does the job quick and easy. I do it nice and slow, and I check it several times just to make sure I don't sand too much. These magazines are fairly cheap, but as such, I don't want to oversand them and have to throw them away, because that'd be a waste of money. So first step is I'm going to take out the spring of the magazine, and that's really easy with these Magpul magazines. You just press down on that button. It's all spring loaded. You slide out the bottom retaining plate, and this whole this whole spring will come right out. I'm going to set this off to the side, and all I'm going to do is try to adjust the camera so you can really get a good view of this. All I'm going to do is just kind of take this Dremel and slowly work the feed lips of both sides of this magazine. So let me see if I can do this without knocking over the camera. This is just the standard sanding bit that Dremel sends you when you buy the kit, and I've got it right now on about 10 power, so nice and slow. It's easy to manage, easy to control. So again, I'm just doing a little bit at a time, and as you can see, I'm really working not so much the top part of the feed lip, but all that extra material that's on the side. I'm going to end up getting it more or less flat and smooth. I'm going to take out some of that kind of built-in kind of grooves that are already in here. I'm not so much taking material again from the top of the feed lips, but if you've noticed, as you try to seat your magazine, if you stick it in the mag well and you give it a good pop from the bottom, the receiver from your rifle will put little indentations into the magazine of the areas where it's catching, and so that gives you just a good kind of guideline of the areas you need to focus on as you're going through and taking away some of this material. So I'm going to keep going a little bit at a time. As you can kind of see, I've got one side working on, and I'll kind of flip it over and work on both sides at the same time. So hang out for a second. Okay, so all I've done so far is I've just taken off a little bit more material off this magazine. Apologize about the crotch shot right there. I'm just trying to get the camera adjusted. Using a GoPro Hero 4 session, Hero 4 Silver, sorry, not a session. Like this sweet little setup I got, and look at my phone and kind of see more or less my what my camera's seeing. So trying to give you guys the best possible view. Always looks nicer, the video does, once I've uploaded it on my computer, because the resolution just really comes out in the computer versus the cell phone. But anyways, so far all I've kind of taken off is just the material on this one side. Other side I've yet to do, but I'm kind of more or less using this indentation in the magazine right above this little logo as kind of my guide. I'm going right to the bottom edge of that. So down here I'll go sanding this to it so it's nice and flat all the way down just to about this bottom edge. I'm not really cutting into the material on the side of the magazine. For my rifle, the main points that on the magazine that it was catching was right here in the back, right here on the bottom of this feed lip, and this is the area that I'm focusing on right now, is just making sure that this is nice and smooth. Once I'm all done and I know that all of my magazines fit properly, I'm going to go back with just a finer sandpaper and try to get this to be a little bit more smooth. But I've found that keeping it coarse like this makes it easier to see, so hopefully you guys at home watching are able to get a good idea of the material that I'm moving, and areas to focus on and areas not to worry about. So again, all I've seen out there on the internet is just a 3 or 4 pictures that show a completed magazine, so I'm really hoping this video is an answer to a lot of your questions. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to start working on this side. I'm going to stop occasionally just to go do a quick fit in my my rifle. I'll probably bring that down here in a minute and show you guys how it fits, and then it still will drop free without a problem. I've yet to fully test the forend for fit, to make sure that the magazine doesn't wobble too much and still allows it to drop free. But again, right now my main focus is making sure that this magazine fits. So I'm going to get started here on this other side. I was using this vise. This vise was holding it in place good, but it's hard for that angled sand on my Dremel with the vise sticking out. So I found that just putting this on a flat surface on the edge gives me just a good range of motion, and it still allows me to go at an angle and remove the material that I want to remove. So here you can kind of see that as I've started to go, that groove that was already there is slowly sanding away, and that's what I want to do. I want to get this nice and flat and smooth, get rid of those that groove, and to really take away a lot of this material up here. So I removed another good little bit of polymer here on this magazine. I'm going to take a break real quick and just run and test fit it in the magazine and see what more I need to, what material more I need to maybe remove. Here's kind of a comparison. The one on the left right here has already been fitted in the rifle. I've already more or less know that that's going to fit just like I like it. And the one on the right is what I'm currently working on. So here's kind of a side-by-side comparison. Let me see if I can give you a good view of it, but I'm gonna go test it. I'll be right back and more or less tell you how much more I got to do, and or if I'm done. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stick it in the magazine. If it's catching up on anything, I'm going to give it a good pop. It's going to put some indentations here in the magazine where I maybe need to remove a little bit more material. So alright, so I'm back. I brought my rifle right here with me. So here's the KRG X-Ray chassis. Here's the spigot mount. That's already locked into place and tightened down and installed. I don't have this I don't have the rifle fully torqued down and everything installed. I'm waiting on really the magazines to really function and go in and out properly. So let me just kind of show you more or less what I'm doing to test the fit of the magazine. So I'll take this, I'll put it into the mag well. This one, it's not fitting. It's holding up somewhere, so I still got to remove quite a bit of material. But what I'll do now is I'll just hit it with my hand. Now it's locked in place and won't come out. So I'll release the magazine, and I'll show you here on the bottom, or sorry, the back of this magazine where the receiver made some marks on it, and that'll give me an idea of the material that I need to remove. So you can see kind of right here towards the back is where it kind of rubbed off on the magazine, so I've got to remove more material there. And then opposite side as well, right here it left a mark, so I'm gonna take my Dremel and go over that area again, remove some more material, and then test for fit. So here we go. And the other side. So taking off a bit more. Those marks that the receiver left on the magazine are gone. Sanded those off on both sides. So I'm gonna use my shop vac, clean up some of the dust, and test for fit again. So there's the rifle. And just with a little bit of pressure, it's locked in. And slides right on out. Locked in, slide out. There's a little bit of resistance going in, so I'll go by and just kind of touch it up. But more or less, this is exactly how I want it. It's got good retention from the forend, and it'll drop free, so I'm not worried about that. It's in and it drops free. So, but again, I'm still feeling a little bit of resistance, so I'm gonna come back in and just sand a little bit more, the whole edge, both sides, and then I should be good to go. And that'll conclude this little tutorial. Hope it helped. A trick that I found is to really just make sure that I've got a nice good solid connection with the whole side of the sandpaper on the Dremel bit. Not that I don't want any kind of an angle like that, but once I remove the grooves that are initially there, to try to get a really good solid connection between my Dremel bit and the side of the magazine, and just making this nice and even and smooth. And that should just about do it. Check one more time again for fit, and that'll be, I'm thinking that'll be it. So bear with me. I'm gonna use the shop vac again, clean things up a little bit so I'm not sticking a dirty, dusty magazine into the mag well. Rest this up here. Drops free just like I like it. And you know, that's good for me. So more or less exactly how I want it. You guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and drop a question or two in the comment, and I'll see what I can do to help. And again, I'll come back over this with just a finer sandpaper just to get it to be nice and smooth. But if that doesn't change much and it still functions, well, it still functions now, but if the fine sandpaper doesn't really change much, then maybe I'll come back on and say that that's not really necessary because it doesn't change the fit or function. It might help the looks as far as getting rid of some of this kind of worn gray area, but I'm not too worried about looks. So again, thanks for watching. I hope this helped. I know it's really going to be the only video out there to show you how to do this. So again, I know my audience is small, those people looking for using a KRG X-Ray chassis on a Tikka T3 rifle. So I hope this helps, and leave me a comment, and Let me know what you think. Thanks. So that's the second one now that I've got. So here's 3 5-round magazines. I'll slide in and out just like they should. Fits great. I've got 2 10-round magazines because it's Texas and I can. And that's all the work, machine work I'm going to be doing today. So I can get on to other projects now that I've got this issue figured out. Special thanks to KRG for sending me the link to the pictures for the individual that already solved this issue. So maybe the video, for those visual learners, maybe the video helps. KRG, you want to make some sort of deal, put me on the website showing how to do this. I'd be more than happy to. So thanks guys again, and this is Red Baron Field Outfitters. Look us up on our website. Me and another coach I coach with, we hunt down here in Texas, and among other things. So look us up, give us a call, and look forward to making some more videos. Thanks.